All right, look, Eagles season preview. They are reigning Super Bowl champions, and it feels good, right? I'm an Eagles fan. Look at that. I even bought a hat. That's kind of crazy, like Cat in the Hat. Bet you didn't see more after that, but we have a lot to get to today, so let's just dive into why this team may repeat or they may just absolutely sink and just be a terrible team, and I'm just going to have to live in agony for these Sundays. What really stands out to me to this team is their Super Bowl rings. They got brand new ones that honestly look like Beyblades. Now, as I'm saying this joke, that was my first thought, but I forget if they said that on part of my take or not. Remember Bakugan? Why does the US just love things like that? That's not something we're covering today. But in terms of the Philadelphia Eagles, they got their rings. Everyone's excited, but now I'm back to square one. You're back to square one. We have training camp going on. They were impressive. They won their first preseason game. But when we're looking deeper into the numbers, right, what we have to find out is if they lost their edge. Starting off with the key players, win or loss. Josh Sweat, gone. Huge loss. I mean, that celebration, that's not where my forehead is. You can't tell. Well, I did take my hat off, but the forehead is massive, which made for an interesting childhood. A lot of 5-head, some even said 6-head, and I was like, well, that's kind of breaking barriers, but that's what I do. I just break barriers a lot, and this team broke barriers, right? I mean, Cooper DeJean, let's just say that, basically Jackie Robinson. When we're looking at Josh Sweat, he is a very big loss off the edge. Becton, loss. He also went to the Cardinals, which I've met one Cardinals fan in my life, but he's just a very relaxed Arizona guy, which I can't tell if he really means football or not. I'm sure there's tons of football out there. I mean, it's a dry city. Gronkowski went out to school there. I've never actually met Gronkowski, but there's always one day for it, right? So do the Cardinals, do they have a real fan base? I don't know. Gainwell went to the Steelers too. And it's like, they replaced it with A.J. Dillon, surprise, surprise. A.J. Dillon going to the Eagles is a perfect fit. The dude has massive quads. Saquon has massive quads. They probably put their quads together. I don't have massive quads because I am fragile and my quads are not that big. But look, massive quads means fourth down conversions. They also have Shipley there for just kind of like we don't have to pay you that much, but just go out there and get a first down. So he's not great, he's not terrible, I don't know. Jahad Campbell though, that is the thing. You draft another one of those players, one of those, how he did it again. How he did it again. How did he do it? Well, he just drafts good players and is like, okay, this person's probably going to develop into something. So that's how Howie does it. Plain and simple. I love Jahad Campbell here. You get a linebacker. The other one, what's his name? Was it Smith? Got injured really bad. Smith linebacker? I don't know. But Jahad's going to also be able to play on the outside as well. Recap of last year, right? Obviously, Super Bowl champs, we all know that. But beginning of the season, they want Nick Sirianni's head on a stick. The Eagles started off 2-2. Heading into the bye week, it was looking bad. They just got absolutely crushed by Tampa Bay, which seems to happen for every single Eagles fans. I mean, when I'm doing those NFL parries, people hop on, they just pick Tampa Bay to beat the Eagles every single time. And honestly, that's probably in part by it. A lot of people from the Northeast do venture down there, down to Florida for game time. Hold on, we gotta take a little sip. But at the end of the day, I mean, they're not in Florida yet, right? The Snowbirds. Tampa's great, but we also didn't have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown there. So that's probably leading to a lot of the reason why it was not a great game. Now, from there, Nick Sirianni's head did not go on a stick. He actually stayed with the Eagles, and then eventually we all know what happened. So credit to Sirianni. Now he's touted as one of the best coaches in the NFL too, but he seems extremely undervalued all the time. Yeah, they didn't lose since week 6. I mean, a lot of this is due to Saquon, right? Saquon joins the team, adds another element, and hand up, I said, Saquon's sick, but we don't need that, and oh boy, was I wrong. He broke or came close. I don't know. He just backwards hurdled a person. I think that's the Saquon recap. He did have a horrible drop catch against Atlanta early in the season, and it's funny because he pointed that out, everyone remembers that, but he also made a sick catch in the Super Bowl, and he's just incredible, right? If you have Saquon on your team, it's going to be better. He finally had a great year. Their offense did look incredible. Part of this to the tush push. They tried banning the tush push this offseason, but then they realized, okay, other people are just scoring this on the same amount of times. That's really, a lot of people just convert these fourth downs is really what I'm trying to say. So there's absolutely no difference how you slice it. I mean, there's differences when you go through different diners in America for how they slice peach pie, apple pie. They might even have pastries. But pretty much how you slice it, you're going to be slightly underwhelmed in some sort of triangle form. Just don't order quiches, right? I did that when I was in Jackson Hole. Never get a quiche there again. That was crazy. Anyway, the offense, right? QB sneak, it's the same when you go other places. People still don't think that Jalen Hurts is a great, for me, he's a top 5 quarterback. I don't care what people say. Quarterback wins in football is a quarterback stat. It's important because, look, Jalen Hurts, he could have aired the ball out. He's going to have to air the ball out a lot here, especially with the schedule. It's going to be a lot more competitive, and these run defenses are amping up. So he's going to have to throw the ball a lot in this situation. But look, he didn't have to throw that much last year. He ran the ball when he needed to. He got first downs when he needed to. He won games when he needed to. That's what you need out of your quarterback. Now, we're not talking fantasy here. If we are talking fantasy, he's still he's still my 3rd pick in fantasy. He goes Josh Allen, Lamar, and Jalen Hurts. Josh Allen and Lamar are very close, though. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they're still there. That's all you really need to know. I do want to see more Dallas Goedert. I understand he wasn't the best last season, dealing with some injuries. But I just want him back. I want him scoring touchdowns. Look on the defensive side of the ball. Cooper DeJean. That is a very important piece that is staying there. Obviously, he had a fantastic rookie season, had a pick 6, but is he enjoying it too much? Like, did he peak too early? Perhaps. And if peaking too early means that you win a Super Bowl and that's all you do for a franchise, congrats. That's all you need to do. You've done fantastic. I swear, if there is a spider on my eyebrow, I will freak out. But the thing is, there's videos of him partying in Jersey, which is what I want him to do. Sadly, as I'm realizing this, he is younger than me. But I want him to go out. I want him to have fun. But it's like, look, we also got a season coming up. Gotta get in shape. Can't have too many Trulies. Or Trulies you could probably have, but not too many beers. Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy. That's the theme for next season. Quinyon Mitchell, he's back. He was a big reason for this. I mean, that's more the safeties. The Eagles allowed only 6 yards per catch last season on average, which is pretty fantastic, per attempt, actually. So that's great. On the other side, you also have losing Sweat, right? That's big loss. Brandon Graham, no longer there. What you have to really think about is now it's all about Jordan Davis and Jalen. They are now going to come to their own. Jordan Davis, I feel like, has been maybe off to a slower start, but progressing every single season. We saw last year, oh my God, he was an animal. He was an absolute animal. And of course, the person I'm talking about is Jalen Carter. I mean, he was a game wrecker, especially whenever he went one-on-one. It was like an automatic sacks. Very happy he fell to us in the draft, and that how he did. Overall, though, AFC, Patrick Mahomes, it's always scary, but we have Vic Fangio still, and Vic Fangio is the quarterback killer for Patrick Mahomes. That's simple. He's just, I don't know the stat. I'm not a stats guy. What do I look like to you, ESPN here? But Patrick Mahomes does not do well against Vic Fangio. So that's always a very interesting coaching matchup because he always seems like Patrick Mahomes is invincible. That's really the success here. It's just like, can they just stay where they are? Yes? Okay, fantastic. You're doing great. Overall, they're still a top 5 defense. I don't care what anyone says. The win total, what I'm thinking here right now, it's set at 11.5 wins. That's a lot. That is a lot of wins. I want to say they're going to get to 12. That's my officials. Hey, I would say that they have more than 11.5 wins. I have them for sure winning their division. Commanders, sure, they're great. They got Jayden Daniels. They're still missing a ton of pieces. The Eagles have a way more complete team, and the Commanders also have a way tougher schedule than they had last season. I get it, but he, does all the VR reps and all that. I don't know. But I wouldn't trade for contracts. Maybe I'd trade him, but I don't care. I don't care. Giants, they're trash. I don't care. People always try to tell me, oh, their interior defense is going to be fantastic this year. Okay, congrats. What do you want, a cookie? There's still so many other parts to this game, so people are just going to throw it on you. Jalen Hurts to have 2 or more passing touchdowns every single time they play them. Look, they're favorited in 15 out of 17 of their games, the Eagles as well, so that 12 wins isn't crazy. Outside of the conference is where it gets a little tough, though. They're playing the AFC West. Again, we have the edge on Patrick Mahomes, but let's not forget the Broncos. That's going to be a fantastic game. The Chargers are tough. Raiders are probably also going to be a little sneaky this year and snag a couple more wins than what people think they will. I have them to have more than 6.5 wins, I believe, is where I got it at. They also play the NFC North. Tough division, right? You have the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy. Is he good? Is he not good? Doesn't matter. The coach is going to have him ready. Caleb Williams. Now he has Ben Johnson. Is he going to be good? Not good? Everyone's saying no. I think he's going to be great. Why not? You got Ben Johnson there. It's a complicated. There's a lot of things flying around. It feels like Caleb Williams is going through this first couple days of class where you just don't know what's truly going on, and you're like, I'm failing, but he's going to put it together by the time kickoff happens. You have the Lions, Jared Goff, model girlfriend, had a baby bump, maybe Jared Goff passing touchdowns, I don't really think he's that much of a rushing touchdown guy, so maybe David Montgomery comes in and steals it. David Montgomery also has a lot of interesting TikToks out there. TikToks that I'm not brave enough to do, but if I was David Montgomery, I could probably beat anyone up. So there you go. That's the Lions. Packers, you got Jordan Love. I don't know. They're young. They'll probably be good. Who really cares? Look, they have a rest advantage. I can't read my handwriting. They're minus 140 to win the division. I love that. Also, they are my pick to win the NFC. In total, they're also my pick for the Soupy. There's nothing telling me why this team just can't have the repeat success that they had last year. It all depends, honestly, if they stayed humble and hungry enough. So that is the Eagles preview. Let's hope this is good. Let's hope it's a good season.